Finally, the Tacoma is getting some solar power. This is the Renogy 200W Shadowflux series solar panel. Now you guys have seen me do a few solar panel reviews on this channel, but all those solar panels were on the Jeep, and that went with the Jeep when the Jeep was sold. The Tacoma hasn't had one yet, and it needs one because we need constant power at camp. And right now I'm running off of a power bank, and then eventually I'm gonna grow into a dual battery setup for this thing, and having a solar that can power up either of those things is just gonna be really advantageous. Now this is the first time I'm running a 200-watt solar panel. In the past I've only had about 100 watts on my solar panels, so I'm curious to see how much more I'm gonna get with the 200 watts versus the 100 watts. Plus, this is Renogy's newest solar panel. It's the first market N-type solar panel that's boosted with Shadowflux anti-shading technology. Now the way they say it, it utilizes cell-level shadow management technology to enhance power generation and overall energy yield under partial shading conditions. So what does that really mean? Well, basically you're gonna get 134 watts under 25% shading conditions, whereas traditional solar panels, it'll basically drop down to 0. Like if you go under a shade and 25% of it is covered up, traditional solar panels could lose all power output, whereas this is still retains 60% output even with it being partially shaded. Now, as I mentioned before, this has an N-type grade A+ solar cells with 16 bus bars that gives you 25% cell efficiency. Man, that was a lot to say. Now this weighs in right about 23.83 pounds, and it measures 49.69 by 30.08 by 1.18 inches, which is about 10% smaller and lighter than traditional solar panels of the same wattage. This does have a 5-year warranty, which guarantees the physical solar panel itself, but it has a 25-year performance warranty, which guarantees that this thing will still produce 80% of its output. So that's pretty good, knowing that in about 20 to 25 years, this thing should still be cranking at about 80%. And obviously it's IP67 rated, which means you can mount this outside and it's not going to be damaged by the elements. Now for all of you electrical nerds out there, here are some other specs you might want to know. Optimum operating voltage is 31.3 volts. Optimum operating current is 6.38 volts. Open circuit voltage is 36.5 volts. Short circuit current 6.86 amps. Max system voltage 1000 VDC. Fire performance type 1 and safety class 2. But enough of specs, let's get this out of the box, plug it into a power bank, and let's see how well it charges it up. Now, one thing I'm glad I did when I had this camper built was have them pre-wire it for solar. That means I don't have to route any wires. All the wires are already right here, and I just have to plug my solar power into it. Now, as you can see, there are absolutely no clouds in the sky. It is super clear. Sun is way above because it's about 11 o'clock in the morning right now. So this is like the most ideal time to test out the solar panel and get maximum power out of it. Now, right over here, I have my Bluetti AC180. Right now, you'll see it's at 53%. Solar is plugged in. So the other end of the solar is right over here in the vehicle already. Let's just get that plugged up, and it's moment of truth to see how much power we're getting. Alright, so I waited for it to settle down a bit, and it's kind of been fluctuating between 125, 127, and then maxing out at 128, and I found that it pretty much stays steady at 128 with periodic dips here and there. That is a 200-watt solar panel, and we have no clouds in the sky. It's directly above. So I'm going to check the Bluetti and see if there's a reason why I'm only getting 127, 128. Maybe I need to put this to like max charging or something, but right now that is where it's at. So everything looks good on the Bluetti side of things. There is an option for turbo. Let's see if that does anything. Nope, still at 128-ish. All right, so we're going to do process of elimination here. I have some other power banks we're going to test out. If it's still giving me 128 watts on all the other power banks, then that tells me that it's the solar panel. But if it's giving me more, then that tells me that it was the Bluetti AC180 that's not receiving the full 200 watts. So with the Anker Solix, the lowest it was going is 128 and the highest was at 130. So this is pulling about 2 more watts than previous. All right, over here we have the AC70. Let's see how much this one gets. All right, so this one's settling somewhere between 125 and 127 as well. So these are 3 different power banks giving me the exact same result. The lowest was at 125, topping out at 130 at the highest. Now, I've always wondered this because in the past I have had 100-watt solar panels and it would only get me like 65 watts. It was only giving me like 60 to 70% of its capacity. And in this instance, this is a 200-watt solar panel and it's giving me, what, 125 to 130. You tell me if that's normal, if that's usually where it's at, or if I'm supposed to get the maximum wattage in the most perfect conditions. I'm going to do one more thing, which is wait till the sun is completely up. Because right now the solar panel's here, the sun is right here, but there are no clouds. I'm going to wait till the sun goes like directly above the solar panel and see if we get even more. All right, so it's about 12:10 and the sun is directly above us, which means this is the maximum time to get as much solar energy as we can. So let's plug it up and see how much we're getting this time. All right, pretty much the same thing. The only difference is maybe 2 watts because now the Bluetti AC180 is maxing out at 130 and the lowest is going is 127. All right, so there is one more thing I want to try, and that is comparing it to another solar panel. This is the Bouge-RV 100-watt solar panel that I had before, and this is all I want to know. I want to know if this will pull at the maximum that it's rated for. 100 watts, if it pulls 100 watts or close to 100 watts, then that tells me that the Renogy solar panel should be closer to 200 as well, because that tells me that the sky is like the perfect condition for it. If this is also pulling 70% of it, 100 watts, and I'm only getting maybe 60 or 55, then that tells me that it's the sky conditions and not the Renogy solar panel, if that makes sense. All right, 100-watt solar panel is plugged up. Let's see what we get here. And we are getting right around 64 to 67, maxing out at 67 watts. Interesting. So this was a really interesting and very, very eye-opening experience in exactly how much solar you're going to pull. The conditions couldn't be any better. There are no clouds in the sky and the sun is directly above us. We started with the 200-watt solar panel and it got maximum 130 watts. That is 70 watts lower than what it's advertised to be at 200 watts. So we switched it out to different other power banks to see if maybe it's the power bank, but all power banks I tested was drawing the same, 128 to 130. So that leads me to believe there's something up with the solar panel because it's not drawing at the 200 watts. But then we pulled out another solar panel that's 100 watts, and that didn't pull 100 watts either. Perfect conditions, nothing has changed, and that one is pulling 65. So by using those calculations, the 100-watt solar panel is drawing 65% of the advertised 100-watt power, and the 200-watt solar panel is also drawing 65% of its full power. That is very interesting to me. Solar panels draw in 65% on the nose of what their total advertised wattage is in the most perfect conditions. That's eye-opening. But knowing that, I'm going to keep the Renogy solar panel up there because that's giving me 130 watts versus the Bouge-RV 100-watt one, which is only giving me 65 watts. We do have one more test to take, which is the Shadowflux anti-shade technology. I'm basically going to use this other solar panel and simulate shade and see if we get a change in wattage. I'm monitoring the power bank through my phone and I'll let you know exactly what it drops down to, if any. All right, so I have it shaded partially here. It dropped down to 26 watts, 50 watts, 52, 57, 61, 66, 71, 74. So with it being shaded like this, and this is about 25% of the panel, it maxed out at about 74, and it's staying steady right now at around 68 watts. So basically the same as my other solar panel at 100 watts, but this is actually being shaded. It's pretty cool. Now that I got those numbers, let's get this permanently mounted up here. The mounting hardware is sold separately, but I think it's worth the buy versus DIYing one with brackets at the hardware store. They already have pre-drilled holes and lines up with the holes on the solar panel, plus it's designed to elevate the panel slightly to make it easier to unmount later. Now for the actual mounting, one thing I didn't want to do was drill a bunch of holes on my roof. Luckily the roof also has T-slot rails along the edge, so I used it to hold down one end of the panel. But inevitably, holes will need to be drilled on the other side. I just made sure to use a lot of RTV silicone to prevent water intrusion and leakage into the camper. Now if you're asking me how I was able to tighten the nut inside while holding onto the bolt on the other side, I have a special tool for that, and it's called an 11-year-old. Ugh, I hate RTV silicone. I really hated drilling into that roof, but seeing as how they already drilled holes in the roof for that fan, then a couple more holes is not going to hurt. And I'm really glad that there was a rail system at the edge. I was able to use that and then minimize the amount of holes that I had to drill out. But gotta make sure you use that RTV silicone. As much as I hate that stuff, it is necessary to prevent it from leaking. I ran a hose up there just to make sure that there's no leaks coming through, and we are good to go. Now as far as the solar panel itself, that was really eye-opening. Like I've always known, the solar panels are never going to give you 100% of the wattage that they advertise, but the fact that I had two different solar panels from two different companies and they both were giving me exactly 65%, that tells me it's more about the environment than the actual panels themselves. There's nothing wrong with the panels. I mean, maybe there was a haze in the sky that I just couldn't see, and that's what was preventing it from allowing the solar panel to give it the maximum power it has. But I am glad to have one now, because that's what's going to keep my power bank topped off, and then later down the line when I do build out the dual battery setup, I just gotta plug right into it and I'm good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. I actually had a really fun time making it because I got to test out some solar panels and see what it was actually giving me.
Does anybody even see me?